Hi, everybody. This is Tom Fish from ActionCOACH Two Rivers, and with me today is Dennis Wiltshire from BMA Enterprises, Inc. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
Oh, thank you very much for being here. All right, let's get started. Tell us a bit about BMA Enterprises.
BMA Enterprises is a managed service IT provider and consulting firm for small to medium-sized businesses. We focus in the Fredericksburg, Stafford, Northern Virginia areas, and we have a deep knowledge in the medical space. We've managed a number of IT organizations within several different medical practices for the past 26 or 30 years.
Very cool. Any government work in there as well?
No, we've pretty much stayed away from the government work, to be perfectly honest with you. Just not something that we've sought after.
I just know a lot of IT companies look for those government contracts as well. Very cool. So small to mid-sized businesses. Okay, and so how long have you been in business?
So I started my first consulting practice in 1979. So we've had a very long history and have seen many changes over the years, from trying to explain to small business people what a computer is,
right,
all the way to now basically becoming their IT department and making sure that things are running properly and taking care of problems before they even know that those problems exist.
So you're sort of the outsourced IT department?
Yes, primarily our clients have us as their full IT department, but there are some situations where we will work in what's called a commit situation, where it's a co-managed IT arrangement if they have somebody on site that can do some of the work but needs an additional hand from time to time.
Right. So you mentioned that you have a specialty in supporting medical practices. So who really do you serve? Because small and mid-sized businesses, that's pretty wide. Who's your target market, your target audience, your best clients?
Yeah, so basically it's, in the more generic term, it's those 10 to 50 user clients that need that type of reliability in their IT infrastructure. We'll come in, we help them with those things. From a medical standpoint, that also falls into that. But some of the things that we have is we've developed our own EHR system many years ago. We've created our own patient portal. We have an appointment reminder system. We have a custom hospitalist group system that Johns Hopkins and other hospital systems use. So we're well versed in the medical space for certain.
All right. So would you say that the medical space is what gives you 80% of your revenue? That 80-20 rule.
It used to. It used to, but we broadened out into more of a generalized managed service provider. So our client base has changed over the years, primarily due to medical practices getting tired of the regulations and winding up selling themselves out to hospital systems and things of that nature. So many of our medical practices that we've provided services to for 26 years, we lost, not because we did anything wrong, but because they sold to a large hospital system.
Right. And so then you had to diversify.
Exactly.
So what's been the greatest impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on your business?
Well, we were caught in somewhat of a triple storm. Not that everyone hasn't been exposed to, trials and tribulations as a result of the COVID situation, but it was right in that time frame where we were actually migrating off of a number of medical clients due to acquisitions and ramping up our marketing efforts. And unfortunately, marketing to organizations where they are scrambling to try to work from home and closing their offices makes it very difficult to begin our marketing push at that particular time. So it was a double whammy.
Oh, wow. So what were one or two things that you did differently that made a difference? What kind, we call those pivots. What kind of pivots did you do?
Well, one of the things that we did is, I'll be honest with you, as I've indicated, I've been providing IT services since 1979, and with the exception of a 1-month period in that entire time, I have never marketed my services. Everything has always been word of mouth and things of that nature. So we made a major shift and a major investment in marketing programs and training programs to improve our sales and marketing approach.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, that's be heard above the noise of everybody screaming that the world is ending and, getting your message out. Very good. And how did it work?
It is a long process. When you have to build that sales pipeline, it certainly takes time, and then add to that you can't really reach business owners because they are not in the office, or they're trying to deal with COVID themselves.
Right.
So it's been a long process. We're now into approximately 16 to 18 months into that process, but we've been encouraged with some of the results that we've been getting.
Yeah, things are starting to open up. That's very good. Very good. All right. So in times like these, business owners like us have to think differently. One of the things that we do is we help business owners, change their mindset or shift their mindset. You and I have never worked together. What did you do in order to get your mindset to shift and think differently?
Well, it was a strong realization that we needed to implement a marketing program and get out there and hit the pavement and do the things that were necessary. And it really has changed my mindset from this was a very nice, interesting industry that I always wanted to get into, and it happened to pay me and allow me to earn a living to it's now time to change this into a true business and treat it as such. And so that was a major mind shift that I had to deal with.
Oh, and that's a big one. That's a big one. I've had a client who, when she started out, she was an accidental business owner. And then after talking to me for a little bit, she said, I really do want to create something that is an asset that I can then, someday either take passive income from or monetize in, somebody buying my practice. It's used in the medical field. And that's when she started working with me, but very interesting. Okay. So this question is interesting. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So in the spirit of community, could you share some mistakes that you made along the way, and how could other entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
So one of my failings was, as I just mentioned, essentially treating my business as a hobby and enjoying what I do. And the fact that it paid me a salary was good, but I didn't recognize the business aspect of it and to treat it as. So that would be one thing that I fell into. I guess one of the other things would be not to allow any one particular client to wind up being 60% of your revenue. Make certain that no one client coming on or leaving would impact your business so drastically that it couldn't, move forward in a smooth progression.
That's a very good point, and that's something. Whether or not you're in the midst of a crisis, that's a good point. Whether or not you're in the midst of a crisis, you learned that in the midst of the crisis, though, right?
Unfortunately, I did.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Second to the last question. We have your email and your contact information, but if somebody who's watching this interview wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you? And do you have any offers, any special offers going on right now?
So they can certainly reach out to me either through the website, my email address, direct email address, or our phone number. Email address is dennisw@bmaenterprises.com. Phone number is 540-752-7377. We're here. We're going to pick up the phone. We don't use an answering service or anything of that nature. So when you call our office, you're going to be connected directly to our staff.
Okay, great.
And presently, we're offering a free network assessment. So if anybody wants to take advantage of that, or our 15-minute phone call, webinars, so that we can have a one-on-one consultation, find out your current IT needs, where you could possibly be served better, and then we're happy to come out and do a network assessment and show you our thoughts.
Very good, very good. Okay, last question. What is most inspiring to you today?
Great question. I'm encouraged by where we are today and where we were. So I believe that we're finally coming out of this lockdown period, and I believe that people are ready to get going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's going to flip in a month, but people are ready to get back out there, and hopefully, some of these struggling businesses are ready to put the pedal to the metal and start bringing in a lot of additional revenue and services.
Good. All right. Excellent. This has been a great interview. Thank you so much, Dennis, for being willing to share your lessons learned with the broader business community, and looking forward to talking with you some more.
That's wonderful. I appreciate the opportunity, Tom. Thank you very much.
Okay, great.